Hey everyone, Kale with the Antique Book Collective, and today I'm getting to you guys with a little bit of a life update, channel update sort of thing for this channel. So first things first, I just want to say that I'm not going to be stopping this channel, don't worry, but there are some rather large changes happening in my life. And I know in my last video that I did share that I was going to put in an offer on a house. I put in that offer. Initially I was like, oh, I'm going to do this offer. They were like, oh, there's several other buyers. I was like, okay, I'll try to do full offer. And then I was like, I don't feel at peace with that. So I retracted it and went back to my initial offer, which was just under $10,000 less than their asking price. And then they asked for best offer, so I did go up a little bit, but I ended up not getting it. Not the end of the world, not too worried about that, because the main reason why I wanted that particular house was actually a particular business that I'm working on launching, a totally non-book related business, which I will be sharing with you guys in the future. I'm still working through a whole lot of things for that, but this video I'm going to be sharing a little bit more about that without getting too much into the details. But I know a lot of you guys have commented on my other videos that you love hearing the totally random things that I talk about that are other things that I'm getting into, so maybe, just maybe, I might let it slip what I'm actually working on. But with that said, that particular property that I was looking at, it had a really nice shop, and it had 3-phase power and 220 hookup, which was absolutely incredible because the machines I was looking at required either or of those, and if I had both, that means I could actually run additional machinery. So I was like, okay, this is stinking dope. And it was on a concrete pad, and this is all just the shop of the house, and then the house was adjacent to it. The house had title issues and some other things, but it was pretty good bones in that house. And I know I just did share the prices that I was spitballing for what I would bid on it and all that sort of stuff, so I guess I might as well tell you guys the actual prices we were talking about with this particular place. So I went to this house, and guys, when I went there, their asking price was $29,950 for a house on an acre with a great shop. The house was 1,440 square feet. The shop was, let's see, it was about 25 foot by 30 foot, pretty stinking nice. It had, again, an acre on it. It had power going to it. It was a pretty rootin' tootin' nice place. Of course, the house did have issues. The roof was leaking, and there was very minimal mold issues. If you guys know anything about me, I sort of deal with moldy things sometimes, like books, so I sort of know how to clean mold. And my family, we've flipped some houses, so all of that, it was like, pfft, pish posh, this is nothing. So I was not worried at all about that. And I went there. That was their asking price, and I was like, okay, Mrs. Realtor Lady, or Miss Realtor Lady, I don't know if she's married, here's the offer that I'm thinking about making, and basically let's just wait until I get home, and maybe I'll do an offer as soon as I get home, maybe not, because I had to drive 6 hours down there. I inspected the house myself for several hours. Guys, when you are buying any house, don't just walk through it and think, oh, this will be my bedroom, oh, this will be the kids' nursery, that sort of stuff. Actually look into things. It's funny, the realtor lady, several times when I was looking at these things, was like, wow, you've done this before. Wow, what do you do for a living and all these things? Because I was doing a pretty thorough inspection. I mean, I was really digging into these things. When she pulled up, I was actually halfway getting into the crawl space, taking a look around, because this is the sort of stuff you do when you are buying a house. You have to make sure you actually look at these things. So I'm looking at it, and I'm like, yes, this is what I'm probably going to put in my offer for. And I didn't do it as soon as I got home that day because I was exhausted, because I woke up at 1 a.m. and I didn't get home until 8 or 9 or something like that. So it was a long day, and by 8 or 9 I mean p.m. So it was a very long day. It was also the day they shot Charlie Kirk, which was very unfortunate. I guess we're talking about that now really quick. Absolutely horrible thing that happened. Gutting to most men my generation. So there's that. Anywho, so don't want to get into it too much. I'll get angry. But with that said, it was a very long day, so I didn't send in my offer. I sent it in that Friday, and we were working on it, getting ready to send it in, and she tried to send it in, and it turned out they paused offers on it because they actually cut the price to $19,950. I'm not leaving off a zero. We are talking $19,000. So I was like, oh, poo. Well, that's not good, because I immediately knew that meant other people would be hopping in. So there was another person that hopped in and wanted to put in an offer, and then another person. Eventually, it was just me and one other, and all that happened. My offer was just 10 grand. I upped it to $12,250, I believe. So I wasn't too anxious about getting it, because for me, the business that I'm hoping to start, that's a whole can of worms. And then having to flip a house basically in that same time frame, it would have been an unholy amount of work. It's within the wheelhouse of things that I can handle, but still, it would have been a lot of work. But with all that said, I didn't get the house in the end. We'll see if their offer actually goes through. So far it has. It's been 2 weeks or something like that. But we'll see if it actually works out. Maybe I'll be able to put in an offer for 10 grand again, or 12 grand. We can definitely see what happens there. But I'm, again, not too terribly worried about it. So with all that said, I guess I'll actually share the actual business that I'm working on starting. I'm working on starting a fastener business. I have a really stupid, clever name. I guess I will be letting my last name slip. If you guys have been watching this channel any amount of time, you know that I've only shared my first name. I guess in that other business, I will be sharing my last name. So if you guys want to find that out, you'll have to tune into that channel when it gets going. I still need to file a trademark for the company name. I don't have a trademark for like this company name or the YouTube channel or anything like that, but this other one, I'm planning on it being a lot bigger than what this is. The entire book business, my books that I write business, like let's see, I haven't trademarked anything that I've done really. I have copyright on some stuff because I write books, but not much in the way of trademarks. So I'm actually going to be trademarking a name for that business. I got to do the LLC paperwork, open a bank account, all that sort of stuff. And just today, it's 4 o'clock now, so earlier today at 9:20 I had my appointment. They didn't get me in until like 9:30 or 9, no, it was more like 9:40. But I actually went in to get a photo and fingerprinting for something called a TWIC card. Forgive me, I don't remember exactly what it is, but I want to say it's Transportation Worker Identification Card, I think is something like that. But basically that lets me go into port facilities, like we're talking shipping ship ports, and I actually get to go inside of those now and pick up some machinery, at least once I get my card and my identification in, provided I pass a background check. You guys know me, I'm quite the sketchy guy, but once I get that background check and they send me the card, I'll be able to go into those places. The reason why I need to go into those places is because I'm actually importing some equipment from China to actually get my business off the run, just going basically. Again, it's going to be a fastener business. My first machine is going to be nails. I know, that's quite exciting, but eventually we'll be getting screws and bolts and nuts and washers and all that jazz as well. I know that's a totally stupid and random thing for me to get into. In that particular video where I'm going to launch that new channel with the new business, I will be sort of digging into all that a whole lot more. But end of the day, it's the weirdest business ever, because no one looks at fasteners and thinks that's something I want to make. That's not something people look at and think, that's my dream job. But for me, for some reason, you guys know me, I'm not normal. Growing up, I'd always walk through the hardware section of Home Depot and such, and even like all the other hardware stores. We have a place, I'm totally spacing on the name, but lots of different places around where I live that my dad took me to, because again, we flipped some houses. We were a very project-oriented family. It's like, oh, we need a new deck. We'll do that really quick. In fact, just this past summer, I was replacing my family's front deck, and it was funny. The neighbors drove by a couple of times as I was ripping out the deck, and then I believe it was the next day, so I ripped it out just down to the joists. I still, it was just the decking I was replacing, but got it down to the joists. Got all the new deck boards put on, and they were all painted. I painted them beforehand so we could have all sides painted, and actually I stained them, not painted them. And it's funny, neighbors were driving by, saw me taking it all out, and then the next day they drove through and it was done, and they were like, what in the world? What? Who did this? And it's like, oh, it's just me. That's just what we do. We build things. But anywho's, we would always go through the hardware store, and I'd always look at the fasteners, and I know that's a weird thing to always look at, all the nails, all the screws, and I'd be like, wow, these prices are a little high. And then you get to the stinking nuts and bolts. If you guys haven't looked at nut and bolt prices, it's like, well, what in the brown cat is that? It's nutso. So I was always like, these prices are absolutely stupid. One of these days, I want to get into this business and totally destroy these people that are charging way too much on nuts and bolts. Like, a bolt this long should not be anything over 25 cents in my world. Honestly, I don't think it should be more than 10 cents, but let's just say 25 cents. It's like, that's a ripoff. And you see people charging like 60 cents or $1 for some of these things. It's like, no. We're getting rid of that. So that's something I always sort of was irked by. And if you guys get irked by something in this beautiful, free, capitalist world we live in, you can fight the power and you can fight back and you can start your own business, take them on. So that's going to be something for that specific channel, where I'm actually going to have the story arc of that channel instead of this channel where it's me showing you guys how to do this, how to save your own books, how to sell your own books, all that sort of stuff. The story arc for the channel that I will be doing is sort of going to be the little guy, the David versus Goliath story. It's going to be Caleb versus Big Nail, and Big Nail, of course, is going to be all the big guys that are selling all the fasteners and all that sort of stuff. They're going to be my enemy, and it's going to be the hero's journey of Caleb starting a fastener business. And to make things a little more exciting, I'm starting it on a very tight budget because I was like, hey, there's also going to be a story aspect to it, an encouraging part of the story aspect of me encouraging other folks to actually go out and start their own manufacturing businesses in rural America and even in their own garage, but long-term rural America. That's why I was looking where I was looking for that one house was I was hoping to potentially get it going there, because the house that I was looking at, the town it's in, the average age is 61 and a half. According to the census, the town size is a little over 100. The poverty rate is close to half for that town. So it's like, if you could bring a good business there and get a lot of jobs in, you could really change the course of that town and save it from imploding. But I'll just have to do that later on. It's totally fine. And I have an entire location industrial zoned in that town that I've been eyeing and probably will be scoring once we get everything going on that whole business. I've run the numbers 700,000 times on how fast I can scale, on the profit margins, all this sort of stuff. Like, I've been quite thorough on all the research for all this sort of stuff, but end of the day, that entire thing is just for the fasteners. Lots of research, lots of excitement, and we're going to have a fun hero's journey of me taking on Big Nail and eventually saving America is the long-term goal, because that's what anyone wants to do when they go from antique book selling to making nails. Yeah. So with all that said, back to what I was saying earlier, first machines that I'm going to start out with are nail machines. I'm importing those. I've been getting lots of quotes from quite a few different companies. Spent so many hours researching the best machines, the size machines, the weight of these machines, all this sort of stuff, because the first shop floor that I'm going to be starting everything out on is, it's not a 12-inch pad of concrete that'll be able to hold whatever machine you want to do it on. It's a lot thinner of a floor, so I actually won't be able to do the largest machines they have, or the machines that can do 3.5-inch nails to 6-inch nails, which is what I was sort of hoping to do. I'm going to have to start more with the 1-inch to 3-inch size nail, which is still perfectly good for me. All these sorts of things, all this amazing amounts of research that will drive a man insane. But I've basically got not at all squared away, not at all figured out, but I've got enough figured out that I am moving forward. My budget for it is, I guess I'm going to maybe tell you guys this right now, and I guess I don't know, we'll sort of see how the other channel goes, but, but my budget for it is going to be roughly 10 grand-ish, maybe a little bit more, maybe a little bit less. We'll sort of have to see. 10 grand, I know that's a whole lot of money for someone to start with, especially if you don't want to do it on credit. I'm not doing it on credit, but that'll sort of be another aspect of the whole video. Remember I said the little guy against Big Nail. I mean, hey, if I can take on Big Nail with just 10 grand and then start a potentially multi-million-dollar business, that's pretty encouraging. That is pretty inspiring to folks. And as you guys have sort of seen from me doing this channel, I'm not a mopey, Amazon's ruined book selling, eBay's ruined book selling, we're all out of business, the world is over sort of guy. I mean, even in my economic update videos where I share that things aren't looking good, I always try to have a positive spin on things, because if you guys haven't noticed, I'm sort of a positive guy, and I'm absolutely positive about that. Ha ha ha. But with that said, doing a very David and Goliath sort of story where it's me starting really small and going really big, I think that'll be a really encouraging side of things for everyone to watch as well, and it'll sort of add to the thrill of the entire story. So with all that said, I'm going to be documenting that entire story. Obviously there's going to be some videos that are going to be more exciting than others. If you guys didn't listen, I already said we're doing a nail business, so I mean, it's probably not going to be the most exciting channel out there, but it's going to be the story itself that'll be the exciting part. It's not going to be the watching the same machine putting out nails for hours on end that's going to be exciting. It's going to be the this random idiot decided to do this and this and this, and now he's actually starting something great. And that's sort of what I'm really after. So with that said and done, I will be sharing that channel with you guys down the road once that channel is going, once I have the trademark on my company name and the LLC established and several other things. But until then, I guess I'm going to keep on teasing you guys with all of it and being difficult and annoying as always. But again, I'm not going to be stopping my book business. I love the book business. It's something I really enjoy doing, so I'm not going to be giving it up to make nails. Of course, it might impact how many videos I put out, but end of the day, I mean, I'm doing one video a week for this business, the antique book channel business. It's not too exciting. It's not the biggest time drain unless I'm doing longer videos like this, so I guess there's that. Hopefully I will be able to actually be a little bit more consistent on my releases for videos. I know I missed the last 2 video drops I was supposed to do with this channel. My apologies for that, guys. If you guys didn't gather, I've been a little bit busy because, again, I went on a 6-hour bleeping drive to the middle of nowhere, and then I drove another 100 miles. That was a long drive, folks, and woke up before the butt crack of dawn to do it, and then I drove all the way back, and then I was doing the offers, coming back with the offers, all that sort of stuff, doing all this research because the home on it, it was a trailer home. They never detitled it. There was a lien on it, but the lien holders said that they didn't really care to hold it because it was already paid off, and they just didn't get rid of the lien, like 105,000 things that I spent so many hours on looking all that up because it was a foreclosure house. That was one of the reasons why it was as cheap as it was. Plus, again, it had leaks in the roof, and it was not the most beautiful house you ever did see. But there was lots of just random things that I've been on up to, plus again all the research, all the number running that I've been doing for the nail business. But with all that said, I'm basically on the final stretch for getting all that going. There are a few other things that I do need to do between now and when the machine actually arrives. It's gonna be really stupid funny though, because the machine itself, it is going to be a little over a ton of its weight. It's going to be a little over a ton, and because it's a little over a ton, and because of the size of the machine itself, it's going to be, I'm sorry, I'm gonna use the measurement system that didn't make it to the moon first. It's 2 meters wide, long, and then 1.5 meters wide and 1.5 meters tall, and it's gonna be coming in a big old crate. And because the size of it and because of the weight of it, they can't drop it off at my house, which is the shop that I'm going to be using it is actually in my house. You guys didn't hear from me. Cough, cough. I'm not doing it in the house, but they are not going to be able to drop it off at my house with the tailgate. I would have to have a forklift. I don't happen to have a forklift at my house right now. Maybe someday. Not at this house, though. Long term, I'll definitely have a forklift at my house. But because of that, I'm actually going to have to go to the port itself, pick up the machine itself. I'm actually going to be driving up from where I live, Gresham area, all the way up to bleeping Seattle to the airports is what it's looking like right now. I was getting quotes from all these different companies that manufacture the machines, and man, that was a lot of work. And so yeah, I'll be driving up there with a flatbed trailer, driving on down with the machine. Fortunately, they just opened up a new In-N-Out in Ridgeland? I don't know, one of those, in Washington. It's just north of Vancouver. My apologies for those of you guys that live there. I've actually bought books there. I'm totally spacing on the name, but they actually just opened up an In-N-Out there, so I'm probably going to stop by In-N-Out on my way back with my cool, fancy schmancy machine, and it's going to be really exciting because in addition to all that, running a nail machine sort of thing, I'm going to need both hands to do this sort of work, which means at long last, I'm probably going to be getting one of those point of view camera thingamabobs that you put to a hat or strap onto you like a police officer's thing. What do they call the cameras for the police? I'm totally spacing on that. But you guys know those ones that you strap on right here. But lots of different options there. I'll be getting one of those at long last, which means for those of you guys that have been asking for this for so long, I will be actually getting a series of videos of me actually going out and sourcing things for you guys, which will be very nice. So with that said and done, hopefully you guys enjoy all those point of view videos once I get those going for this channel. Of course, I'll be doing it for the nail business as well. Hopefully you guys that have been sort of anxious to see what sort of random things Caleb's doing next, I hope you guys enjoy those new videos of me showing off the nail business. And obviously there's a lot more things that I'm going to be up to because I'm not just going to stop at the nail business. I have some insanely massive plans beyond that because I have a world to change and I have a country to save, sort of thing. And if you guys haven't put together yet, I'm slightly motivated to do some weird things to get some big stuff done. Yeah, so with all that said and done, thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for being subscribers to this channel for so long. Again, I'm not getting rid of the book business. I love the book business. And I know I've talked about these Charles Dickens books before. I still think these things are beautiful. I still think all the leather books are beautiful. I still think all my book balm and such is beautiful. I love it all. I enjoy it all. I'm going to keep doing it all because this is sort of a passion project of mine, and it always has been, and I believe it always will be. I love old books because I'm a nerd, and it's fun just to do it. And the nail business, I know it sounds like the most boring, random, uninspiring business. I know it sounds like that to most of you guys, but when you don't see the finish line, it's going to sound like that. But for me, guys, I've got quite the finish line that I am working towards, and I'm going to continue working towards. I know people talk about, oh, do you have a 1-year plan, a 5-year plan, a 10-year plan? Folks, I am planning my business around a 100-year plan. I'm planning my business around potentially a 500-year business plan sort of thing, because in the Bible there is a scripture that says, a righteous man leaves an inheritance to his children's children. One of my inheritances that I'm going to be leaving my grandkids and my great-grandkids is going to be a business that is thriving and a business that still has direction, still has a concrete growth strategy. Of course, if I have it my way, all the stuff that I want to hit by the 500-year mark will already be built by then, and I'll just hand them something that's already running perfectly. And of course, if I run it as well as I'd like managers in place so they don't even have to run it themselves, and they just get dividend checks so they can actually go out and do the businesses they want to do, or take over the parts of the business they care about. They don't need to run a business that their dad or great-granddad or great-great-granddad made. They can go out and do what they want and hopefully be able to be financed for that sort of thing. Because when you're me, when you have slight motivation issues where you're a little overly motivated, you sort of plan that sort of stuff. So with all that said and done, again, guys, thank you for watching the channel. I know that you guys do enjoy, a lot of you guys really enjoy all the really random crazy things that I'm up to. You guys enjoy when I'm making a whole new product for books, but now we're making a whole new product that has almost nothing to do with books. I say almost because you can put nails in a bookshelf when you're building a bookshelf. Aside from that, yeah, I got nothing. So with that said and done, thank you guys for watching. Again, I will be doing a video once I actually get that other business launched and the other channel running for that sort of things. You guys, I guess, will be finding out my last name at long last. And be sure to subscribe up there, check out one of my other videos there, subscribe down below, and stay tuned on the channel because obviously there are some big things happening. With that said and done, thank you again for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one.